I'm seeing the top of someone's head.
Home over here. that everybody.
That Jamaica 4-H Club has been. My name is Thelma. Do Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and that is courtesy of the Jamaica 4-H Club social media channels. But before we get into the full gear of everything, as usual, we would like to ask the presence of the Lord. And at this time, I'm going to call on Mrs. Colette Bennett, the Business and Entrepreneurship Development Manager of the Jamaica 4-H Club, to lead us in prayer.
Good morning, all. Let's pray. And just allow those that are coming in. All right, so he's standing at attention, so go ahead and pray. Oh, most heavenly, righteous Father, we give you thanks, we give you glory, we give you honor. Lord, we thank you for this great opportunity that we can come together in this fashion, mighty God, using technology, mighty God, to encourage Jamaicans, the world, mighty God, to continue to grow what they eat and eat what they eat. Mighty God, as we come, mighty God, to celebrate the winners of the Home and Family Garden Initiative that was launched to stimulate the interest amongst Jamaicans. We pray, mighty God, that this will be the beginning, great move as we continue to improve and to strengthen the agricultural sector. We thank you for your love. We thank you for everyone that is with us. And we pray that you be with us as we continue. In your name we pray for Christ.
And we say amen. Thank you very much, Mrs. Kelly Bennett. And as we await for Chairman to take his seat, let me once again say welcome to what we hope to be a very brief meeting, but very impactful in terms of what today stands for. It stands for everything in the name of food security. It stands for everything in the name of food diversity. And it also stands for young Jamaicans who have taken the lead in terms of being model gardeners for the rest of Jamaica, to plant their own food and to ensure that they have their own food. But of course, let me just say special welcome to some of the persons in the room And of course, I start with our Minister, Honorable Floyd Green. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. I see that you have been championing backyard gardening since last week, sir. So we're happy that you are continuing the trend. I'm talking in terms of functions. We also have with us a resident representative of the UNDP multi-country office in Jamaica, Ms. Denise Antonio. Mrs. Denise Antonio. Welcome, Mrs. Antonio. We're very happy that you could join us. We also have with us the chairman of the board of directors, Mr. Colin Virgo, and that's the board of directors of the Jamaica 4-H clubs. Thank you very much, Mr. Virgo. Dr. Ronald Blake, executive director of the Jamaica 4-H clubs. Thank you for being with us. And we also have Ms. Charlene Finley, who is the acting director of agricultural marketing and info division. And she's here representing the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Mr. Dermot Spence. Let me also say welcome to other members of the team of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, as well as other members of the team from UNDP. Welcome to you all. Members of the media who are here and who may also be present via social media. And of course, colleagues, staff from the Jamaica 4-H clubs, and also other stakeholders who are also joining us online. Welcome again. As I said, it's a special day, but it's not a day that we're going to prolong because we know that, time is of the essence. And of course, it is all about celebrating 3 individuals who have topped the challenge in terms of what they have achieved in their respective gardens. And we're talking about Joel James, Shanika Wallace Graham, and Elaine Britton. And of course, we just want to say congrats to them all in terms of taking it to the next level. So without any further ado, we're going to get into the greeting. And at this time, it's my pleasure to welcome to the lectern Mrs. Denise Antonio, President Representative, UNDP Multi-Country Office in Jamaica.
Minister of Agriculture and Fishery, Honorable Floyd Green, Chairman, Board of Director, Jamaica 4-H, Mr. Colin Virgo, Executive Director, Jamaica 4-H Clubs, Dr. Ronald Blake, Model Garden Keepers, representatives of the media, other distinguished attendees here on location, and those watching via live stream. Good morning. The United Nations Development Program, through its Jeff Small Grants Program, joins in celebrating the 3 winners in the Jamaica 4-H Club Backyard Garden Competition, made possible with a contribution of about $70,000 for the Jeff Small Grant under the program Youth in Action, Combating Climate Change through Innovation and Technology in Agriculture projects. This is a special moment of pride and hope. Hope in the demonstrated possibilities of home-based food security, and hope that this movement will grow exponentially, especially among young people. We are delighted that 465 families entered the competition. We view this as a sign of the growing appreciation for government's Eat What You Grow, Grow What You Eat campaign, and recognition of the potential to transform modest inputs into tangible rewards that can help to feed families. Being able to select ingredients for meals from your backyards, drum pans, and veranda pots makes a nutritious, accessible, and liberating difference. Let me just interject from the standard speech to say, I was just telling Dr. Blake, when I lived in Zimbabwe, in my yard, there was a garden. And so I was able to actually plant things and eat from my garden. So that's the importance of us doing that to the extent we can. I think we can all appreciate why home garden matters more than ever. For one, climate change with its unpredictability, accompanied by bouts of drought, makes agriculture more difficult. So widespread and wide-scale adoption of sustainable, climate-smart agriculture practices is key. Two, job losses brought about by the COVID pandemic have meant that many families are struggling to feed their families. And three, crop failures and rising food prices have become a threat to the 17.1% of population living below the poverty line, among which 25% of them are youth. We have been encouraged by Jamaica 4-H project reports of record number of youth in project activities, contribution to the youth in agriculture and social enterprises policies, establishment of an agro-processing training facility, application of sustainable forests, agricultural and water management practices on 16.81 acres of land, and the development of a number of knowledge products that are important resources for advancing youth in agriculture and homegrown farming. Congratulations and well done. You have our word that UNDP and the Jeff Small Grants Program will continue to be responsive to the vision of climate resilient security and to ensure that young people are suitably integrated and empowered to lead this movement in the future. Our commitment is anchored on UNDP's corporate mission to help countries end the injustice of poverty, inequality, and climate change, and to, of course, achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Projects which simultaneously help us to secure SDG number 2, which is zero hunger, and SDG number 13, which is climate action, are particularly important to us as we stir the spirit of self-reliance and resilience among families, including the younger generation. We build national resilience to crisis, seeking also to ensure that there is enough food to feed every Jamaican. We commend the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries for championing the home garden movement and leading the way to a more knowledge-based, climate resilient, and innovative farming sector. And similarly, we commend the Jamaica 4-H Club for the creative ways in which it is seeking to contribute to improve food security, food production, food security, and food diversification among Jamaicans. And of course, I am especially pleased to offer my personal congratulations to the top 3 winners and hope that their outstanding example will be broadcast and replicated across Jamaica. I encourage you to share your stories and become the champions of a home farm movement that can transform lives, families, community, and this nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Antonio, for those words of encouragement, those interesting statistics, and of course of that imagery of you growing your crops in your pots, in your container back in Zimbabwe. I've just visualized that. Thank you again, Mrs. Antonio. So as we move along, I'm now going to call on Board Director Chairman, Colin Virgo, to come and give us his speech. Mr. Virgo.
Morning, everybody. Minister Green, Mr. Honorable Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Mrs. Denise Antonio, our UNDP Multicultural Office resident representative, and as a self-adopted Bahamian, I want to guarantee that I enjoyed every minute of your presentation. That's even better. Monrovia. My hardworking executive director, Dr. Ronald Blake, and all the members of the 4-H team and families, I see some folks from the IAC and a number of our parish officers here as well. Very, very, very happy to have everyone here. What are we here about today? It's always well and good to have functions and always well and good press conferences and all these things where you can go and take all these wonderful photos and you say all these nice things and everybody comes and everybody claps and yay and things. But at the end of the day, what is the value of what it is that you have done? What is the impact of what it is that you're celebrating, that you're talking about? What are the lessons learned from what it is that you're trying to put out, whether it is internally in your household, whether it's externally at the workplace, whether it's in your broader community, whether it's nationally? Now, that's one of the things that excites me about this backyard garden challenge. Because when it was conceptualized, when it was done, it applied a common sense approach to a global imperative. A common sense approach to a global imperative. Let me just tell you plain and straight. I used to work at TV, and I have no difficulty in saying that sometimes I see some of the brightest people make some of the stupidest decisions. And with no offense meant to anybody, one of the things that causes that is that too often we complicate some of the simplest things of life. And we forget how to go back to the basics. What this challenge has done, it has brought people back to the basics. And the timing of it could not have been better. So if it's only one good thing in the world has come out of COVID, it is the fact that it gave more persons, myself included, a little more time at home than we normally would have had. And in that little more time that you have at home that you normally would not have had, I'm so happy that the UNDP supported the Jamaica 4-H clubs in jumping in and seizing the opportunity to get that message across to our families and to our young persons in particular, that there are some simple things that you can do and make a difference starting right in your own home. A big part, forgive me, I won't be too, I promise I won't be too. A big part of why this is so crucial. When people hear about 4-H, right away they start thinking about agriculture and home economics and those sorts of things. Good, that's fine. But when you're trying to create a national impact, there are very few things in life that create impact without appreciation. What do I mean? So, I say Jackie Hendricks in there and a few others. Shall use the teach as well? Like I said, Dr. Blake, you used to teach. Right? When you I know Minister of Pharmacy of Education, and this man is a lifelong teacher. When you're teaching in particular with children. So you have the cognitive years, eh? So you have the sensory motor and the operational years. There are some things that they will grasp quicker and appreciate better if you catch them in those sensory motor years. That has been one of the subliminal targets of this backyard garden challenge. Right? So we're very, very happy to have had the adults involved, the parents and support involved. And it is really them, to be fair to them, what really driven the success of it. But one of the key components of this initiative was to get into the cognitive thinking from now of that younger generation, those children under 9 years old, those who are just coming, an appreciation from now of the environmental protection. Okay? What has this challenge done? It has achieved that appreciation of environmental challenges and appreciation, because what it has done, it has caused a number of households. They have old tires. Those two ladies in the car don't want to hear this. They have old tires at the back of the house. You go around to the back of the house now, it's not only whitewash and thing, and what have you planted the tomatoes and this and that. And what have you? So you have old buckets, old appliances, this, all sorts of waste matter that would have only been there collecting rainwater and serving as a breeding ground for mosquitoes. They are now in valuable production. Somebody had an old piece of furniture around the back of the house, planning to throw it away from it, never got around to it. When this challenge started up now, right, the light bulb went off in the head and they looked at this cooler. But you know, we can convert this right away. It is there now as a nursery, right, for the next set of crops to come on even after the challenge. So it has reminded people of an appreciation for the environment and environmental protection. It has given that generation, that up and coming, bend the tree while it is young, of entrepreneurship. It has given them an appreciation of self-reliance. And most importantly, you're doing all of that at the same time while developing from early an appreciation of climate sensitivity. This activity that we have done is as important as reminding children every day to cross the road properly and not to throw garbage on the ground. I am grateful to the 465 families who officially took part and those who unofficially, myself included in the unofficial part. But we are very, very grateful for the support from the UNDP and the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries that we are able now to, in a very tangible way, to give some commendation and show some appreciation to those who came out on top in this challenge. We thank every single person who has taken part in this initiative, and we are begging everybody else who didn't. When you see the wonderful prizes and even cash that they're going to be getting to the IO bank, I tell you, and I'll make sure that the next time around you start first and you have the best backyard yard that is possible, so that you can get answer something. So in closing, when I would have seen someone in the media last week ridiculing and saying how Portmore people must have backyard yards and they don't have backyard. Even in Proverbs 13, verse 19, they tell you that it is better to close your mouth than regard of food and you open your mouth and your conversation. Because that person would not even know that prior to that initiative being started by the members of parliament in the area and the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, I personally know of no less than about 200 persons in Portmore who would have started a similar initiative from the initiative was started nationally by the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. So grow what you eat what you grow. Say yes for fresh, backyard garden, and all those things. So actually, those people who are being cynical and skeptical towards, and by the way, the persons who are saying that don't believe it, But what you are saying to the naysayers, without being combative or anything of the sort. This is one of the last things in the world that we should be trying to discourage anyone from taking up or being a part of or appreciating the fullness of this. So I really, really, really want to thank every single person, including the many from Portmore who took part in this fantastic challenge, and some of whom are even among those who will be receiving prizes and whatnot for having done an excellent and fantastic job with it. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Chairman Virgo. Always animated, but always pointed as well. But thank you very much for those words to the point and really breaking it down for us. So you've been hearing about the backyard garden challenge and things that people have planned and what they used to plant in and what they planted and all of that. But I'm sure you want to get a little bit more information as to what this initiative is about and the impact it has created. And who to do that? No better person than the Executive Director of the Jamaica 4-H Clubs, Dr. Ronald Naylor, who is going to provide an overview of not only just this initiative, but also the Jamaica 4-H Club's home garden. Dr.
Thank you, Chairman, Honorable Minister Floyd Gray, Mrs. Denise Antonio Contreras, UNDP Multi-Country Office in Jamaica, Chairman of the Jamaica 4-H Club, Mr. Colin Burton, colleague staff, members of the media, also our distinguished winners of the challenge, those here and those who were previously awarded and are with us on our online platform. I want to say that today is a good day for food security in Jamaica. The Jamaica 4-H Clubs, ladies and gentlemen, responding to the COVID pandemic, launched its Family Backyard Garden Challenge as a strategy to do three main things. One, to strengthen, to intensify, and to broaden the food production base of Jamaica. And the aim is to secure food for our nation's people. The project, which was implemented in May 2020, targeted 4-H members, volunteers, as well as the general public. Particular emphasis was placed on a family-oriented approach to gardening. And so those of you on your way here, you would have seen a mother, and the winner representative, a young man, is here, but you'd also see the little sister. And I'm really sorry that COVID don't allow us to pack everybody in a room, because as a ministry, we pay keen attention to our COVID protocols. But we really took a family-oriented approach. So it was an opportunity that in order to qualify, you must have all members, grandma, grandfather, auntie, uncle, whoever lived, whether you are from an extended family, it was necessary for you to have the entire family engaged. Why did we recommend a family-oriented approach? During the pandemic, it was a time when people spent a lot of time at home. There was a reduction in exercise, and we thought that gardening was a valuable way of just going out there and doing things. So you're creating exercise while you are producing your own. Another key fear we had then of this pandemic was a threat poses on food security. So in many ways, This project was responding to many of the challenges brought on by the COVID pandemic. Participants were encouraged to cultivate crops in any available space. This is not a backyard challenge, because guess what we saw was that persons were actually cultivating in their front yard, their side yard, on top of their roof. And one of my most memorable video was the use that competitors made of their fencing, running vine crops such as chocho and cucumber on their fence line. And so we saw the creativity that the chairman of the Forage Club spoke about, because a lot of the containers that were misplaced around the home and poses a threat to other diseases, we were able to pull them into the containerized aspect of this challenge, and we saw where people went the full gamut. And somebody spoke earlier on that how do you take an old fridge that you throw? It could become a repository for creating your seedlings, and we saw that in the challenge. The initiative, ladies and gentlemen, we targeted 2,000 people, and I want this to be made clear. So there were 2,000 persons that were empowered with seeds or seedlings, or they have registered. However, of that amount, it was only 465 that was brave enough to say, what I have done. So people like myself, the chairman, who was a part of the challenge, we were not brave enough to take photograph and a video to show off our God. Probably we didn't do it well enough, or we didn't think that, you know, we wanted it to be associated with us. Right. But there were 465 families. And when you say 465, it's not personal, because in no instance could any one person participate in the challenge. But there were 465 homes and their families that feared their God, and they felt confident about it, and they shared it, and they became part of the challenge. Now, it was important to know that the three winners here today, and I don't know who is first, second, and third, the suspense is with me as much as it's with you, but important to it, over the last month, the team led by Ms. Bennett and Ms. Carr and Ms. McCalma, they went around the country and they awarded 14 parish champions. 14 parish. And how did we do this? It was on two bases. One, the videos and photographs you shared, they had to be streamed on our social media platform. And 60% of the judgment in selecting the winners came from the likes you receive on social media. But the other 40% was provided by an assembled team of agricultural experts who looked at the videos and who thoroughly analyzed them and decided that the three people who are here today did the best of the 465 brave families who participated in the challenge. There are some pieces of statistics that I want to share because they are encouraging to my heart. 70% of the participants were women. It is making a strong statement to this country and to our world that our women are not ordinary players in the whole food production system. Also, as expected, a lot of our participants were youth. And we saw where persons from all the way from 5 to 35 in the youth cohort, that represented 67% of the persons participating. Gardens were mainly established in urban and peri-urban communities. The reality is that the more rural you go, people already have their farm around their house. And so the real interest happened with the urban communities. And so it is kind of foolhardy when anybody questions why you in backyard garden in Port Moore, which is one of our largest dormitory communities, are in Kingston, in Mandas, in Hayden, in St. James, because really and truly that's where the capacity is to do home gardening. And I'm deliberate in saying home gardening. Ladies and gentlemen, coming out of this whole activity, we have seen signs and we envision that many of these home gardens would be scaled up to become small commercial enterprises. And I hope, I'm sure at least one of the three people here will agree with me on that, because they have become so infused. As Chairman said, it was a stimulatory exercise in the large, and it was really to encourage and entreat people to the importance of growing their own food. We saw the excellence in people sharing at 3 stages. So they had to share in the preparation, the field preparation, and they also had to share another video on the planting and care of the crops they were growing. And the final stage was the harvest. And that was a beautiful thing to see. And I want to say, what I saw looking from most of those videos is that we did not just produce food, but garden is also a key aspect of the aesthetics around your home, especially where people had them in their front yard and they did wonders with some of those containers, so they were packed and what they were growing. And we also noticed that while in the main people were planting tubers and vegetables, but we realized that the pandemic has stimulated the cultivation of a lot of nutraceutical. So people are planting scallions, people are planting mints, people are planting, experimenting with garlic. As again, as something easy to plant, you just need to pull the crop together, put it in the soil there, and you generate a new plant.
So there was supposed to be that woman.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt that they may have looked at it. But ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I just want to say that this event would not have been possible without the 465 pounds. It would also not be possible, and I want you to find we look like 14 parish managers because they braved the pandemic. I think I have any parish manager here that wants to stand at any parish manager, okay? Right? I just want my parish manager to stand and be acknowledged. They braved it, and when people were hiding and running home, they went out there and they gave out seeds, they looked at people's garden, and they did an excellent job. And I want to say it could not have been possible without you and your colleagues. It would not have been possible also without Jeff Small Grants program, because under their full rollout of initiative, which is Youth Action Combating Climate Change through Innovation Technology in Agriculture, we have also got the resources from that for this project. In addition to the other thing, we had a nice function at NCU, a symposium. We also have the agro-processing lab, and they agreed with us that we could use some of the resources with this project, and we want to say thank you. But also there's a little man with a small business out in St. Mary, Louis Nursery. Even the challenge of not making money, he took his plants and he gave it to the competition so we could give it to families, especially around the country. Ladies and gentlemen, we are better off today in terms of food security because of this challenge. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Blake, for making it a little clearer to not only those in the room, but of course those who have joined us via social media. And for those who might have joined somewhere in the middle, we just want to say welcome to you. And of course, our volunteers. Don't forget our volunteers because they are part of the crucial mix in terms of turning the wheels of the Jamaica 4-H clubs. Ms. Hendricks, welcome, ma'am. I recognize you even with the mask. But welcome, thank you very much. But again, Dr. Blake, thank you again for that overview. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we turn the spotlight on our Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, a very busy gentleman. I follow you on social media, son. I can say, I don't know how you do it, but believe you me, we have to put our hands together for a very hardworking minister. Taking up, and let me just use the word challenge as a pun. I think you are certainly rising to the challenge, sir. And we're very happy to have you here sharing with us. We know 4-H clubs is very special to you. And with no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome Honorable Floyd Green.
Thank you very much to Ms. Karen McCormick, our PR and marketing manager at the Jamaica 4-H clubs, and the chairperson for today. Mrs. Denise Antonio, a resident representative from the UNDP Multi-Country Office. Sir Colin Virgo, chairman of the Jamaica 4-H clubs. Mr. Ronald Blake, our executive director. Other members of the Jamaica 4-H clubs team, I see some of our parish managers are here. Our special invited guests are GES Small Grants Program reps. Of course, the most important people here, the top 3 model home garden farmers. All participants island-wide, I know a number of people have joined us online, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
To be honest with you, I could easily just come here and say, just take everything that Chairman Virgo said, take everything that Dr. Blake said, pull them together, and you will have my business. And with that in mind, I will not detain you for long because I think we have covered really, really good ground this morning. What is that with me? I just feel like this one of the days that you just want to clap for no reason. So I'm really happy because we're celebrating something very, very good. We here at the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, we are on a mission. And that mission is really to transform our agriculture and fisheries sector to ensure that we have an agriculture and fisheries sector that is market-driven, research-based, and that is sustainable. For us to really do that, then we have to ensure that persons have a greater appreciation for agriculture and fisheries, a greater appreciation for our food heroes, for the entrepreneurs who go out every day to ensure that we have food on our table. I think this mission of transformation is even more critical now in light of COVID-19 and for all the challenges with COVID-19. It has presented a tremendous opportunity because a lot of people start to ask the question, can we feed ourselves? How will we feed ourselves? What used to be a foreign concept has really come home to all of us as we saw borders close and countries locked down and everybody start wondering where we get our food from and will it continue? So for us, in order for us to maximize on that challenge which created an opportunity, it must be to design a coordinated program to allow people, one, to take personal responsibility for their food security, to recognize that food security is everybody's business, to allow people to see the intricacies of farming. That is not easy work, but it is pleasurable work. And it is work with a greater purpose than other professions. And for us to really create a culture of sustainability, something that you can do to ensure that it keeps happening. And I sort against that background, in the face of a pandemic, 4-H clubs embarked on this backyard garden challenge. And I want to really congratulate the Jamaica 4-H clubs, because this backyard garden challenge is at the heart of our mission for personal responsibility, our mission for appreciation, our mission for sustainability and food security. And as you have heard, the challenge has gone tremendously well. Not only have the 4-H club been able to touch families right across the length and breadth of Jamaica, 465 families were brave enough to not only go into backyard gardening, but to share the fruits of their labor. I like the fact that the 4-H club program focused on families. I think that was a wonderful innovation, Dr. Blake and the team, because the truth is, to bring real success from a lot of these initiatives, you need a family-based approach. I also like the fact that you incorporated the new technology in relation to communication for people to get involved. So people shared on social media how they were doing, and by so doing, not only were you incorporating the new forms of communication, but you are also inspiring other people to get involved. And more importantly, I like the fact that you are able to choose 14 parish winners. So not only have people gone in there, but they have done so well that we can reward them, and now we are down to the creme de la creme, the top 3. And I think those top 3 deserve a big, big round of applause. So if the 4-H backyard gardening program is at the heart of our mission to ensure that there's greater appreciation, responsibility, and a focus on sustainability and food security, it's not by chance. In fact, it's in direct alignment that the ministry has launched its own backyard gardening program. And we have done so to target 2,500 households from across the length and breadth of Jamaica, with priority focus on urban and peri-urban spaces. And again, you've heard why. Oftentimes, as a man from rural Jamaica, it is almost second nature to have some form of backyard garden. And you often do have much more access to land space to do that. So normally, you don't necessarily need a dedicated program to encourage that sort of activity. But we can't just have an appreciation in rural spaces. Food security, again, is everybody's business. So we want in our urban town centers that there is no excuse for taking food security seriously. And as such, we're targeting our urban and semi-urban spaces. We have put online now that we can openly go and apply for a backyard gardening kit. Backyard gardening kit will come with seeds, your seedling tray, your potting mix, and importantly, also some advice, instructions as to how to get going. We're also going to be complementing your backyard gardening kit with an online portal of information in relation to how can we help you through that process. So you'll be able to log on to the RADA YouTube page, and you will see how do you deal with the common pests that we have here in Jamaica. What else can you plant outside of your crops to help guard against the pests? You know, marigold is one of the things that if you have that in your backyard, it helps fight off pests, so you don't have to get the expensive pesticides. So we're going to give very practical information in relation to how you can set up your backyard garden. And again, one of that I appreciate the discussion that has been generated in relation to some of our urban spaces that do not have a lot of space. A genuine concern. A lot of people say, how can I have a backyard garden? And I really don't have access to a backyard. But it gives us the opportunity to say we have long past the stage where you have to have land space to grow crops. In fact, more of what we want to see is container gardening. We want people to be recycling some of the items that they commonly use. These 5-gallon water bottles, you cut off the top, you put to your side, and you've got a nice, lovely tomato plant. And I know if we were doing more of that, maybe Christmas, when the rains wiped out our tomatoes and our sweet peppers, and when people went to the markets and started to post expensive prices, you wouldn't be so heartbroken if you could have gone into your small backyard and pick from your tomato tree that you're growing in your water bottle or in your tire or in your small container. So for us, we believe that this is an opportunity to not only promote backyard gardening, but to reimagine the concept of gardening and farming in general. And part of what I want to see, Dr. Blake, when you go to the second iteration of this challenge, and I know that you will do so, we want to see additional focus on some of the new low-cost technology, vertical farming, saying to people, you don't have to go outside of your house. I know one young man right now in Spanish Town who grows all the lettuce that he sells in a room in his house, using vertical hydroponic farming. And you hear hydroponic is what? Completely water-based. And he's actually using less water than he would use if it was to be planted in a field. So even though he's using his water source, based on his cost of production, he's able to recoup that and make a profit, and a tremendous profit. And now supplies supermarkets in and around his community from his garden inside a part of his rural. So the possibilities are endless. So again, we are going to be looking to the Jamaica 4-H Club to continue to do what it does in terms of enhancing and engaging our youth. And I've said to the 4-H Club, they're critical in our mission to transform agriculture into a market-driven, research-based, sustainable sector. They have to, one, gather our young people right across the entire of Jamaica and show them the pathway into the profession of agriculture. Have our youth appreciate that farmers and fishers are entrepreneurs. They're business people, and they're doing tremendously well. And have more young people choosing to go into agriculture and fisheries. Not looking as a fallback, but looking as a backup, but appreciating that this is an endeavor that can bring wealth to themselves and their families. I know the 4-H has started on that journey through our roadmap program and also connected all of our young people training in agriculture, and we're looking to enhance that also through our READ program, which gives direct input so people can start their agricultural entrepreneurial journey. And again, as a ministry, we're looking to enhance that. Additionally, we want a lot of our backyard gardeners to transition into commercial agriculture. And we have said as a ministry that if you're a young person, we're securing at least 20% of the land that we have for you to go into commercial agriculture production. So I would say to my winners, and even if you did not want to participate, don't stop. Continue your garden in your house. It is even just for your household. Now my backyard garden really focuses on the things that I like. So my best crop around there is my mint tree. And he's a mint man, right? But I've been able to get good things. I've been able to get tomato from my backyard garden. I did cabbage when I just started. We have lemongrass around there now. So, you know, I will look at some other herbs and spices. So the beauty with this is the beauty with this is you can grow what you consume. And if it is even for that reason, it makes a big difference. Let me thank the UNDP for their assistance, participation in this program. We're definitely looking to see how we can further work together to enhance the engagement of our young people in our agriculture and fisheries sector. So you will see me pulling up the call very shortly to see what else we can do, because we are in this thing together. Again, I want to congratulate everybody who has participated. And this is in no particular order, because I don't know the order. But our top three: Joel James, Elaine Britton, Shanika Wallace Graham. Big congratulations. Big congratulations. I am sure you all can be me. I'm sure my background is like yours. But I'm going to take on the challenge to challenge you. So what I want to see is that even as we bring a close to this year's program, that you continue to share, you continue to encourage your friends, you continue to spread the message that it is best for us to grow our own food. And we have been saying, say yes fresh. When you go out, ensure that you are supporting our farmers, that you're buying with a purpose, because it makes a difference. And I know that you are ambassadors for the cause. And I ask you to spread the message that Jamaica has to feed itself. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Minister. As always, to the point and addressing the matter at hand. And I'm very happy to know, sir, that you have, and again, a deliberate fund, a green thumb in your backyard, sir. So congrats on that. So once again, let's hear it for our Minister, Honorable Poetry. And to thank him again for taking time out of his very busy schedule to be with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you entered the room, you said, well, hold on, but this is not a conference room. I mean, all decorated and tools and seedlings and even watering plants and all of that. And you said, well, hold on. I know I'm at the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, but what? The conference room has been transformed. So these are just some of the items that our top three gardeners will get. But you keep on hearing. Yes, sir. All right, so it's the St. Thomas vehicle is ready. The engine start already. And don't worry, you'll get them in time to go back to St. Thomas before the curfew. All right, so we keep on hearing about our top guys. What are these people? So I'm going to call on them to come and join me up here. Right. And again, in no particular order, because 14, they themselves don't know, they know where we're going to go. So we have two females and we have a male. But I'm going to start with the male first. And I'm going to invite Joel James to come up front. And Joel represents St. Catherine. And we also have Shanika Wallace Graham. Way from the west in St. James. And Elaine Britton. Part of the St. Thomas vehicle that is moving up. And the minister here, come on. All right, the minister has given you the challenge, so you know, I want you to stand close to him and say, yes, minister, we're ready to challenge you. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, these are our top three. We want them to get it. No, it's just for the matter, the photograph. Yeah, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us hear it for our top three. So it is time now to take them out of their suspense.
What about the window?
Exactly. Yes, sir, Virgo. They have already won. But in terms of what it is that they're going to get, you know, you just have a little leveling. Right. So before I say who they are, let me just say thank you to those stakeholders who provided the prizes. Of course, the GFSG program of the UNDP. You heard of Louis Nursery, a gentleman who just said, listen to the man, despite what is happening in COVID, I'm going to provide seedlings, and he hails from St. Mary. And of course, in terms of the island-wide competition itself, we also had support from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and the Calyx Foundation. So let's hear it for the stakeholders. And I'm also being reminded of food for the poor. So thank you to our stakeholders. So let me just start from third place up. So let me just give you an idea of what they're going to be getting. So it's a combination of cash and inputs. So the third place winner will get in cash $25,000. And some of the inputs include packed sweet pepper seeds, packed tomato seeds, cabbage seeds, gallon watering can, garden hose, seed trays, sprayer, potting mix. And that individual. No, man, we're pushing them off now, Mr. Virgo. So, the recipient of all that I just mentioned a while ago, and the vehicle is kind of front already, Elaine Britton from St. Thomas, our third place winner. Congratulations, Elaine. And I don't know how we're going to do this, but Minister, we're going to ask you, and we also would like Mrs. Antonio to be a part of this presentation.
We're going to enter the room together. I have no party.
You know, Mr. Virgo, why about it like that? All right, so my assistants, they're gonna assist me in terms of, you see all of this stuff here, clearly we can't lift up everything. So we're just gonna take up some representative items in terms of presentation. Yeah. So of course, the cash man, all right? And they also get certificates, right? And Dr. Blake, yes, sir, I see you come with the board, so please, thank you very much. Right?
Excellent.
Wonderful. And as I said, we're going to do some other pictures, but because of the physical distancing, so Chairman and Dr. Blake, we're going to also ask you to be a part of it. So, Elaine Britton from St. Thomas, our first winner. All right. So, Minister, don't.
I didn't check this for the deed.
Mrs. Antonio, don't. So now, our second place winner now receives in cash $35,000 in terms of seedlings, cabbage, tomato, sweet pepper, and I see why Minister saying going to challenge him because some of what they're getting is some of what is in his garden. Calcium nitrate, the gallon watering can, the hose, sprayer, and the potting mix. And again, donated by our stakeholders who we mentioned earlier. And that individual is the only male among the three, John James. Yes, $35,000.
Excellent.
That's the youngest.
Excellent.
Right. So that leaves what my mouth is picking up. So that leaves, and I'm just trying to tap the desk a little bit. Yes. And receiving $60,000 in cash. Also, seedlings, so cabbage, sweet pepper. I think I hear that there's a wheelbarrow downstairs. So out, the watering can, the turret sprinkler, the garden hose, and the whole shebang. And of course, that is Shanika. What is the parish of St. James. Good things are happening in St. James. Thank you very much, Dr. So, ladies and gentlemen, here you have it. So there you have it. Our top 3 gardeners. I mean, don't worry about the first, second, and third. That's just to satisfy guidelines. They are the top 3 gardeners. And these are the top 3 gardeners. Somebody did use the word ambassadors. Ambassadors on behalf of everybody else outside of this competition and part of this competition who decided to take up the challenge and use whatever they could find and plant their own. So let us hear it again for them. We're going to ask now Mrs. Wallace Graham, Shanika Wallace Graham, to just respond on behalf of her fellow top gardeners. So let's hear it, Shanika.
Agriculture is our wisest pursuit because it will, in the end, contribute most to real wealth, good morals, and happiness. Words spoken by Thomas Jefferson. A pleasant morning to you all. It is with immense pleasure that I stand here to deliver the vote of thanks. I proudly express our sincere thanks to the Jamaica 4-H Clubs, Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries and his team, participants, and all partners. I must specially mention our deep sense of appreciation to the UNDP for their significant contribution to the JEF Small Grants Program. We are all inspired by the vision, actions, and commitment of all stakeholders to ensure sustainability in the agricultural sector, both locally and internationally. And we look forward to a better and more prosperous Jamaica. We are here to make the best better and to play our part in the advances, the welfare of the whole human race. Thank you and enjoy.
That was well said, yes, and to the point and brief. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing that is left for me to do is to say thank you. First of all, thank you very much to the team here at the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries for hosting us this morning. Thank you very much. Also to say thank you to our stakeholders, the UNDP, for the Poor Heart Foundation of Jamaica, Lewis Nursery, and the Calyx Foundation. Thank you all for being here in person. Thank you also to our stakeholders, our colleagues, staff, volunteers, online. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, let our activity today be an inspiration to everybody that no matter what kind of space you have, if you can go on the roof, wherever you can find it, put something in your container in the soil and plant something. Because trust me, the pleasure will be when you just step from the house to there, pick what you want, and then put it in the pot. You are good to go. And of course, we have to support our local farmers. We have to say yes fresh. We have to support secure our own food. And of course, we have to continue to make the best better. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Continue to be safe and keep it going. Thank you. And of course, we still want to have meets and noises, but we still just want to have some other photographs so that, because we're also doing this for the benefit of social media. So, Chairman, Mr. Antonio, Minister, or three top, I'm sure we'll go to set you up accordingly. All right, so let us do it. Shanika will start, and then Elaine and Joel. And of course, as I said, the photographers will know exactly how they will arrange it. Sorry. Can we give some assistance to these from here as well, No.
That's it?
And then we continue similar fashion with Joel and Elaine. So Joel has been on social media.